If you want to start an online store, there is a good chance you have already heard of Shopify. It is probably the most well-known platform right now. But the real question is Shopify really worth it in 2026? In this video, I will give you my honest opinion on Shopify, the pros, the real costs, the flaws, who it is for, and who it might not be the best choice for. If by the end of this video you want to try Shopify for yourself, I have put a link in the description. This link lets you try Shopify for €1 per month for 3 months. And what is more, it helps support the channel because it is an affiliate link. And also, of course, if you want more videos on this topic, do not hesitate to subscribe to this channel to support me. So first, what is Shopify? It is a platform that lets you create an online store from scratch, technically, so you can build your e-commerce site. Add products, manage orders, accept payments, customize your design, and install apps to improve your store. Why do so many people love Shopify? Because it is a tool that is really super simple and super fast to get the hang of. You can really get started quickly without being a developer. And that is also why Shopify attracts beginners. For me, Shopify is truly one of the best tools, one of the best pieces of software that I use every day. I find it really super easy to use. It is very well thought out, and really you will see in the admin interface, it is truly pleasant to work on Shopify. So it is for beginners taking their first steps in e-commerce. It is also for e-commerce brands that already want a solid technical foundation, those who want to move fast, and finally, creators who want to sell their products. So on paper, Shopify has a lot of arguments, but now we are going to talk about what I really think of it. The first big advantage of Shopify is really its simplicity. You can create your account, choose a theme, add products, and configure the basics. It is really easy to set up, so your online store is ready really quickly, and you do not need to spend many weeks configuring everything. I have included a screenshot of the interface for you here. It is very simple to set up. Second point, we already discussed it, the speed of launching. You do not necessarily have to get hosting. You can get it directly on Shopify. There are no complex plugins to install. It is just through the interface, and there is no need at all to get your hands into the code. So if you want to sell quickly, it is really a good tool. A third very interesting point is the app ecosystem. Actually, there is a whole library of apps, and you can add customer reviews, email marketing, search engine optimization, bundles, subscriptions, and print on demand. In fact, almost anything is possible with Shopify by adding apps that have already been created to save you time. The fourth point that I find really important is the design, which looks clean and professional. We feel confident when we are on a Shopify site. It looks like a serious store, a site that inspires trust, and as a result, it converts, meaning it generates sales. Here we have my variation, for example, which is also on Shopify. Finally, the fifth point, if you are on your own and have no technical team, it is the right tool for you. Now, the flaws, that is what you are told less about in videos, so stay until the end. So the first drawback is that the real cost can quickly add up. There is a basic subscription, as we can see here. I have the basic plan, which is €25 per month if you pay annually. But of course, you have to add things to that. So for example, if I choose a paid theme, I either pay once or I can pay monthly. Then there are apps that also cost money. For example, translation apps, apps for sending emails, and so on. You can add paid options. There are fees linked to payments, and that is not necessarily indicated because, in fact, all platforms do that. At the end of a payment, there is always a small percentage taken for the payment processor, and it is not indicated. So take that into account in your profitability calculations. It is super important. And so finally, if you want an optimized store, potentially it is not such a small subscription because you will add a few other features. So maybe you will not have a €25 subscription anymore, but perhaps one for 30 or 50 euros. It all depends on the subscript, the software you want to add, meaning the apps. So that is the second drawback, dependency on apps. It's very powerful thanks to the added applications, but it can come at a significant cost, a bit more complexity, and above all, it will add code, so it can slow things down. So you have to be careful not to add too many apps. That is why I personally use a theme where I already have plenty of apps integrated. Now the third part, it is not always the most flexible on the back office side. So that is on the administrative side. Personally, I don't find it bothersome, but it can be a drawback for some people who have a really huge store. and want to do something very specific for their management. Fourth point, SEO, it is not magic. Opening a shop with Shopify will not guarantee traffic to your site. It is still up to you to create good product pages, a real structure, content, and work on keywords. And so even if the Shopify foundation is very strong for SEO, it is still up to you to have a comprehensive and clean strategy. Shopify is not easy money. It is a tool. Just because you build a Shopify store does not mean you will make a lot of money. You need traffic, you need an offer, you need a good product, and you need to know how to sell. Shopify is a tool that helps you, but you still need those skills behind it to do e-commerce. So be careful with that point. And finally, Shopify is an excellent choice if you want to get started quickly without wasting time on the technical side. You want a professional look without coding. For that, I am 100% convinced. And I have videos, by the way, that talk about very nice themes. You are starting out in e-commerce, so it is an accessible, clear tool full of resources where you have a real offer to sell with a personal brand, as a single product, and so on. So if you are thinking about getting these started, now this is very important, by using the link in the description, you can try Shopify for €1 per month for 3 months. So that means for €3, you can try Shopify for 3 months. So in this case, it is really cost effective, but it is not necessarily ideal if you have a very tight budget because the subscription and the apps can eventually add up. If you want total technical control, if you want to customize everything in great detail, there are slightly more flexible solutions. And if you do not have a clear offer, you do not know what to sell, who to sell to, and how to position yourself, the problem there is not Shopify at all. It is you. It is your business strategy that needs to be thought out first. So my verdict, my honest opinion today on Shopify in 2026. So for me, Shopify remains a great e-commerce platform. I understand why people choose it, why use it, and it is my favorite tool because for your information, I have also worked on PrestaShop and even WooCommerce, Wix, and so on. But for me, Shopify is truly the best. So my verdict today is that Shopify is worth it if you want to launch a clean store quite quickly. It is a good option for many beginners. What I wrote in summary is that Shopify is a great tool for selling online, provided you do not expect it to do the work for you. So if you want to try Shopify after this video, you have the link in the description. It lets you try it for €1 per month for 3 months, so it is the price of a coffee. You can hardly find anything cheaper to start your e-commerce. If you want me to make more videos on Shopify, the best apps or search engine optimization, subscribe to the channel because that is exactly the kind of content I post. Let me know in the comments, are you still hesitant to start on Shopify or you already using it?